Have you ever wondered why members of the church spend so much time searching for and talking about ancestors? Maybe you've heard of people building family trees, scanning old pictures, digging through records, or talking excitedly about relatives that they've never even met. And if you're new to the church, you might be wondering, why does this even matter so much? That's a good question, because on the surface, family history can seem like a hobby, but in the restored gospel of Jesus Christ, family history isn't solely about the past. It's about people. And ultimately, it's about families. In our last video, we talked about what happens in the temple. We learned that one of the first things new members can do there is participate in baptisms and confirmations for those who have passed away. But that naturally raises another question. Where do those names even come from? Who are these people? And why are we doing this work for them? To answer that, let's start with a simple truth. God is our heavenly Father. And because He is our Father, every person who has ever lived matters to Him. Not just the famous or the powerful, not just the people whose names made it into the history books. Everyone, every son, every daughter, every grandmother, every grandfather, every forgotten name. Every person who ever lived is His child. And because they matter to Him, He wants them to have the same opportunity to receive the blessings of the gospel that you and I have. The challenge is that billions of God's children lived and died without ever hearing about Jesus Christ, without receiving baptism, confirmation, temple ordinances, and the opportunity to enter a covenant relationship with God. So what happens to them? Does God simply forget them? Of course not. His plan is bigger than mortality. The Apostle Peter taught that after His crucifixion, Jesus went and preached to the spirits in prison. The gospel continues to be taught beyond this life. God's love doesn't stop at the grave, neither does His work. But ordinances like baptism and confirmation require a physical body, and that's where we come in. God allows us to act as proxies in the temple for those who have passed away. We stand in their place while ordinances are performed. They remain completely free to accept or reject those ordinances. Nothing is forced upon anyone, but the opportunity is extended and the invitation is offered. And suddenly, family history becomes much more than just names on a screen. It's about real people, people who laughed, cried, struggled, hoped. People who loved their families just like you love yours. And many of them are your family. Now, I want you to think about something. Imagine arriving in heaven someday and meeting an ancestor that you've never met before. Someone whose name that you discovered while doing family history. Someone whose temple work that you helped make possible. And they simply say, "Thank you for finding me. Thank you for helping me connect with Jesus Christ and Heavenly Father." That's what family history is really about. It's about helping connect all of God's family. And here's what I love. God doesn't ask us to do this work alone. He's provided tools, records, technology, and resources that previous generations could only dream about. Finding your family has never been easier. In fact, many members are surprised by how quickly they discover ancestors who need temple ordinances. I'll place some helpful resources in the description below if you'd like to begin. Now, before we finish, I want to connect all three videos in this series. Why do we need temples? Because we need sacred space and sacred time with God. What actually happens in the temple? We receive ordinances and make covenants, learn about Jesus Christ, and serve others. Why do we do family history? Because God's work isn't just about us. It's about His entire family. The temple and family history are two parts of the same work. One finds the names, the other provides the ordinances. One gathers the family, the other helps connect them to Jesus Christ. And all of it points to God's great desire to bring His children home. So if you've been putting off family history because it felt complicated or intimidating, don't worry. You don't need to become an expert overnight. Just start. Find one person, learn one story, add one name, take one step. You might be surprised by who you find, and even more surprised by what you discover about yourself along the way. Have you ever found an ancestor whose story inspired you, or are you just getting started with family history? I'd love to hear about it in the comments below. And until next time, be remembered, be nourished, and be the reason that someone else is.